everyone, it's me, Shelby from Shelby's Crafty Books and Games, and today I will be going over the books that I finished on June 30th to July 6th. And then afterwards I will talk about the books I am planning to either start reading or continue reading from July 7th to all the way to July 13th. So let's get started. First, I finished 2 books last week. Both were Kindle books. And the first book was A Stark View by Alexis Patton. I do not own a physical copy of this. I'll put a picture up as I talk about it. And the summary for this one is, Kalani is a prisoner, Takashi is a guard. Both are slaves to the underground. Kalani Keynes has never stood on the surface of Earth. In the underground city of Popolo, faith and dreams are as absent as the sun. She longs to visit Genesis, the infamous dome city and the final place where humanity lives above ground. But when Kalani is given a life sentence and thrown into prison for a theft she did not commit, those wishes shatter into oblivion. In Burhelm prison, murderers are neighbors, ruthless and cold-blooded guards live to punish, and every second is a battle to survive. She thought the danger lay in befriending criminals and avoiding Takashi Steele, the notorious captain who runs her cell block. But darker traps and secrets await her within the shadows of imprisonment. Kalani's blood will coat the walls in flaming silk before her enemies let her escape to the surface, a feat no one has successfully achieved. If the reclusive and callous Takashi won't kill Kalani, then the merciless prisoners and her fractured mind will. This book was advertised as both a dystopian and a romance. It is very light on the romance, but it's still pretty cute what we do get. But I really like the story either way, because we have the main character Kalani. She goes from this girl that's kind of in on herself, quiet, doesn't really do a lot of stuff, and then she becomes this person who falls in love with like art and poetry and wants to fight to bring this back to her people, because it's not really out there anymore, because they think it's like a bad distraction. So, and that kind of gives her the fighting spirit to want to kind of stop this regime that's going on right now in the book series. So I really liked it. I gave it a 4 stars out of 5, and I hope to continue the books. There is a second book. I don't know if there'll be any more books, but I did purchase the second book for my Kindle and hope to get to it soon. And then the second book I did finish last week, which was also a Kindle book, was The Orc and the Innkeeper. It is a quick romance book that I just wanted to get a really quick romance book to read because it just kind of felt like it. I don't know if you ever have one of those things where you want to just do something out of the blue, but that was what it was for me. And I was scrolling through Kindle Unlimited because I just got Kindle Unlimited, and that was on there, so I decided why not, and I'll read it. It was a short read and a pretty good one. Here's the summary for it. A spunky human innkeeper drowning in magical pests, a brooding orc brewmaster, and the fake engagement that could save them both. I poured my heart and soul into reviving my aunt's inn after her passing, but a pixie dust mite infestation threatens to destroy everything. Their gloried trails of destruction have infiltrated the guest rooms, and the cost of eradicating them will leave me pitiless. I'm desperate for a solution. Enter Thorak, Iron Fist, the orc who once tormented me in high school. Now a wealthy brewmaster, he's determined to expand his ale empire into the human realm. But prejudice stands in his way. When a potential investor mistakes him for muscle instead of the brains, Thorak bursts out that his human fiancée handles the business side of everything. Fate intervenes when I overhear his fib. I seize the opportunity and strike a deal. I play the part of his devoted human partner if he financially aids me in banishing the pests. What could possibly go wrong? So yeah, this has the kind of like the fake dating / fake fiancé kind of thing going on for it, and then of course they fall in love as they're pretending to be a couple. I found it really cute, and I really liked like the world that was starting to be built in this. It has like the fantasy world, but it's in modern day, and I have read that before, but most of the time, well actually all the time, it's like the fantasy world is hidden in the modern world. But instead, this is all out in the open. Everybody knows about like orcs and vampires and werewolves and sirens and stuff like that. So I thought that was a nice change of pace from what is usually seen in these urban fantasy books, which, yeah, that's what it's called, urban fantasy. But I thought that was a nice change of pace. But I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars, mostly because I didn't like the third act breakup, you know, where the characters break up and stuff, and I didn't like how it was like set up and stuff, because it's one of those they misunderstand things, and I'm okay with it sometimes, but I just felt like this one was a really dumb way it was set up and portrayed, so that kind of knocked points off it. But other than that, I thought it was really good, and it is actually the start of a series where they're all standalones, so you can like read them in any order you want, and each one follows a different couple. So I might pick up the other ones because I believe some of the other ones are on Kindle Unlimited. So that could be fun to do those as well. Now, because I read those 2 Kindle books, and one of them, The Orc and the Innkeeper, was not on my list originally, so it kind of pushed out the other Kindle book I wanted to read, but I did start it. I got 2 chapters in, and that was Bound by Ravens by Jessica Sundin. And this is actually a reread for me. This is the summary for it. It was a simple job. All I had to do was steal a ring from a mainland witch for the Thieves Guild that owned me. Easy enough, right? The reward would bring me closer to earning my freedom. And stars above, I wanted off this floating luxury island. But then he showed up, a cocky thief from a rival guild, and ruined all my plans. Every single one. I lost the ring and my chance of freedom. But on the bright side, if we fail to retrieve these 3 magical artifacts for the witch, I'll be forever cursed to exist no more than 15 feet from that unnaturally beautiful elf. As additional treat, we'll be hunted down by our own guilds when this curse prevents us from returning. I honestly didn't believe things could get worse, until he offered a solution to our not-so-little problem, a bargain to save our lives. I would laugh, except I didn't realize there was anything left for my life to steal. As I said, I've read about 2 chapters worth, and I really like how there is exposition and world building, the way it is given out throughout this. It kind of trickles through, and you get it as the characters are doing some really fun stuff, and just reminds me how much I really liked it the first time I read it. And I hope now that I got those 2 other Kindle books out of the way, I can focus hopefully on this and get hopefully a good chunk of it read. I don't plan on finishing it, but if I do, yep, that's going to be awesome. If not, oh well. Then on to my audiobook read. I got pretty far in it, and that is The Ash Princess. I am about 212 pages in. This is what it looks like. Yep, a little bit about halfway. And this is what the summary states. A princess, a prisoner, orphan, rebel. Theodosia is 6 when her country is invaded, and her mother, the Fire Queen, is murdered before her eyes. On that day, the Kaiser took Theodosia's family, her land, and her name. Theo was crowned the Ash Princess, a title of shame to wear on her new life as prisoner. For 10 years, Theo has been a captive on her own palace. Then, one night, the Kaiser forces her to do the unthinkable. With blood on her hands and all hope claiming her throne lost, she realizes that surviving is no longer enough, and that she does have a weapon. Her mind is sharper than any sword. For 10 years, the Ash Princess has seen her land pillaged and her people enslaved. That ends here, because power isn't always won on the battlefield. So I'm really liking the plot in this one. It follows, like it says, Theodosia, and right now she is trying to trick the prince into having a huge fight with his father, the Kaiser, and she's hoping if with that, the whole kingdom will kind of turn into this big civil war where she can kind of escape and then bring up a new army to take back over her old kingdom. And I'm really liking the interactions between the characters. It makes me it's really cute at times, and it's really fun to read. But I think the only big main problem I have with this is that it is a love triangle, and I'm not really big on love triangles. So hopefully that doesn't like take over the book, because I feel like the intrigue and the trying to take over the kingdom back is way more interesting to me. So hopefully that happens. If not, oh well, but I'm thinking this might be at least 4 out of 5 stars once I finish it. Then I got 96 pages into Heir of Fire. I think I'm having problems because it's a chunker and it's really intimidating me. So I might have been why I didn't really read as much as I usually do throughout the week, and also because of the Kindle books. But I think that's the main reason why. I know a couple days I was not looking forward to going to read it because it was just like, it's just so thick. But once I get into it, I'm really into it. So that's just kind of the battle I'm having right now. But here's what it says this book is about. Selena Sardonis has survived deadly contests and shattering heartbreak, but at an unspeakable cost. Now she must travel to a new land to confront her darkest truth, a truth about her heritage that could change her life and her future forever. Meanwhile, brutal and monstrous forces are gathering on the horizon, intent on enslaving her world. To defeat them, Selena must find strength not only to fight her inner demons, but to battle this evil that is about to be unleashed. The King's Assassin takes on an even greater destiny and burns brighter than ever before in this follow-up to the New York Times best-selling Crown of Midnight. So I have a feeling this is probably going to be really good, but I just got to get over my fear of the chunkiness of this book because I think it's like 500 pages. Let me look. Yeah, 565 pages, so that's daunting to me, and it's, like I said, getting in the way of me trying to read it. But hopefully I can do at least a bigger chunk out of this book this week. I don't plan on finishing it, but at least maybe I can get further into it. And then the last physical book I have not even started. I wanted to last week, and I just never got around to it. My plans were to read it as I was trying to unwind from work and getting ready for bed, but never got to that. So I'm going to try one more time this week, see if I can do it. If not, I'll put it on the shelf and kind of give up on this. Let's see how it goes. And that is The Princess Swap. And this one is Cinderella and the Beast / Beauty and the Glass Slipper. And the summary for this book is, Ella spent her life dreaming about adventure, but it is hard to have adventures when you're stuck with a step-family who treats you like a servant. When she unexpectedly wakes up in a land far, far away, she's thrilled at the chance to embark on an epic quest. That is until she finds herself trapped once more, this time in a castle of a dangerous beast. Belle, meanwhile, has plans. Her family's trading company is on the brink of ruin, and to save it, she's going to enter and win a royal competition in the prince's honor. But when she unexpectedly winds up in a cellar with a wicked step-family who have their own plans to keep her from competing, things get complicated. Happily ever after couldn't feel further away. Can Ella escape the beast's clutches, and can Belle get rid of this step-family in time for the competition? But I'm hoping I can actually try to read this before I go to bed each night, and see how far I get. Don't plan on finishing this either, even though it's way shorter than Heir of Fire at only, let's see here, yeah, 289 pages. So those are the 4 books I hope to at least start or get a good chunk into this coming week of July 7th to July 13th. Wish me luck, and I'll see you guys later.